Tired legs got the better of the sky blue and white 7 days ago as AFC Rushden and Diamonds broke home hearts in the closing minutes. But if Coventry Sphinx wanted to rest their weary limbs, they find themselves out of luck with another tall task ahead of them in the form of former United Counties League rivals Wellingborough Town. The Doughboys have risen to the occasion in their new division with back-to-back promotions still a very real possibility. A late midweek victory at playoff challengers Worcester City will have done nothing to dampen the spirits here at the Dog and Duck ground. However, a slip on home turf would lead to arguably Sphinx's biggest scalp of the season. The story of this pitching in Northern Premier League Midlands tie is about to unfold with commentary from Liam Cook, coverage sponsored as always by Cahill Contractors. Coventry Sphinx have a more stacked deck of cards to play this afternoon with the return of Alex Locke, Luke Shearer and Riley Nicholson to the matchday squad. All will have to wait for their moment, however, from the bench. The glaring omission from the starting 11 is that of goalkeeper Charlie Woods. Sphinx's ace in the goal takes a well-deserved week off, with Kettering keeper Jason Alexander filling in. The final change from the Diamonds' defeat sees the return of Jordan Hayward at right wing-back, recalled straight away following a hamstring strain. Wellingborough make 3 switches from the Worcester win. Super sub Will Jones earns a start after capping off the midweek win at Worcester with the final 2 goals. Forward Tom Iachafano and midfielder Brett Solken are also drafted in, with Stainfield and Richard Knoll dropping to the bench and Draper out of the squad entirely. Former Peterborough youngster Tyler Winters has impressed since he signed on the dotted line. He makes his home debut for the Doughboys. It's whipped in by Finley Shorrock and bounces across the penalty area. Jordan Hayward. Into the right-hand corner he goes, and Coventry Sphinx looking to break early as we are starting a little bit late here on the Coventry Sphinx YouTube channel. Whipped in by Vasani, off Wakefield's head. Downs, and thumped away by the Doughboys' number 2 in Will Bates. Welcome to the Dog and Duck ground, one of my favourite ground names in all of non-league, so called because of the use of the old Dog and Duck pub next to the stadium. Welcome to Wellingborough, one of the oldest clubs in England, certainly the oldest in Northamptonshire. We'll get into the starting lineups in a moment. Next time the ball goes out of play here, we have got underway in the last couple of minutes. And Coventry Sphinx ready and waiting to make an impact after that disappointing late defeat against AFC Rushden and Diamonds. This time last week, an injury time winner for the Diamonds, ending what has been a brilliant run for Coventry Sphinx. 3 wins in 4. And it will be a tall order today with the Sky Blue and Whites taking on high-flying Wellingborough. Jones with the ball in from the right-hand side, deflected behind for the corner by Fasani. So starting lineup for Coventry Sphinx. Number 1 in goal, Jason Alexander. Don't worry, Charlie Woods has not left. He's only on a week's holiday. He's got a stag do, actually. So Kettering Loney, Jason Alexander starts between the sticks. Elsewhere, Jamie Draper, Pat Zito and Kyle Burke at centre-back. Fasani on the left. On the right-hand side is Hayward, Woodward and Downs in the middle, and a front 3 of Wakefield, Carey, and I think Fasani's going to be in there too. So in fact, it's going to be a 5-3-2. Ball whipped in from the right-hand side. Towering header away by Fasani. Chasing it is Joe Curtis. Neat pirouette away by Warburton. Turned away by Burke. To his opposite, number 6 in George Barnell. And Carey picks up the loose ball. Hayward wants it played through. The defender at the back keeping him on side, and Wakefield free on the left-hand side. The defender, Bates, getting in the way as he tried to sit it into the penalty area. Great counter-attack from Coventry Sphinx, but just unable to take advantage. So starting line up for Wellingborough, just joining us. Bodycott in goal. Bates, Warburton, Solken, O'Connor, Barnell, Obeng, Curtis, Jones, Winters and Iachafano. 3 changes from their midweek victory over Worcester City. Richard Knoll on the bench as well as Stainfield. No place in the squad for Draper of Wellingborough. Coventry's Draper is firmly in the team. And coming in, Solken in midfield alongside forwards Will Jones and Tom Iachafano. Cushion header to Obeng. Jones. Here's Warburton. Obey makes the run down the left-hand side. Covered all the way by Jamie Draper, and Draper stabs it out. Level with the penalty area. Sphinx making a promising start against their high-flying opposition. Warburton's throw. First to it is for Saney. Hooks it left. Carey gives chase. Chested down by Bates. Shorrock. It's a high one on George Barnell. Free kick certainly. Just shy of the halfway line. Free kick to come for the Doughboys. Referee Harry Price gives Wellingborough the go-ahead. Floated in. Hayward sees it coming all the way, nods it away from the head of Obeng. Woodward only as far as his opposite number 8 in Jones. Bates. Salkin now all the way back to Bodycut. Long time Wellingborough number 1. Lofts it on. Callum Woodward getting his bonce on that one in the midfield. Surrounded by Wellingborough players and eventually brought down by Tyler Winters, making his home debut, the former Peterborough United youngster. So Jason Alexander will take the free kick towards the left-hand side of Sphinx's halfway between the halfway line and the penalty area. And there it goes from the Kettering low knee. Wakefield tried to get his bonce on that one, but turned away by the head of Jack O'Connor. Jones, neat pirouette away from Vaseni. Tried to chip it over the back line, which he did too close to towering Alexander in one of the old goalkeeper kits for Coventry Sphinx. It's the old green jersey. Wakefield. Cushion header to Shorrock. Shorrock in! Looked for Harry Wakefield, but quick finger for Solkan to get it away. Carey takes a tumble under the pressure of Jones. It's Hayward. Wakefield's there. Deflected through towards Wakefield. Wakefield's offside. Will make no attempt to go for the ball. And Bates, no nonsense defending. Gets it out for the throw on the far side. Jones. And the danger ended for Wellingborough. Iachafano. He's played behind Shark, tries to get on the end of that one. Jones just able to shield it into touch and does. Well played by the super sub from Tuesday night with the that late 3-2 win over Worcester City. Jones with the 2 latest goals. One in added time to seal victory. Barnell. Obeng to Warburton. And deflected off. Can't carry there from Jones. Wakefield goes alone. Got carried to his level. Wakefield going to go for glory and hits the crossbar on the way out. Diversionary tactics from Kyle Carey, dragging the Wellingborough back line towards him. Wakefield aiming for top bins and bounces off the very top of the crossbar as Bodycut breathes a huge sigh of relief. Now it's away by the number 1. Shark let it bounce straight out. So Tyler Winston is playing as the main striker this afternoon here at the Dog and Duck ground for Wellingborough. Wakefield swinging a miss from the throw from Shark. And out for a Wellingborough throw deep into their own backyard. Moved upfield by Salkin. Barnell tries to find the captain in O'Connor. And Iachafano has been caught in that exchange. It's a real scrap in the midfield for Saney. Headed away towards the centre circle by Jones for Saney. Able to keep Jones at bay. Burke sending Carey on a mission down the left-hand side. Little hand in the back on Jack O'Connor, takes him into touch, and Coventry Sphinx have the throw-in on the left side of the penalty area. Shark with ball in hand, enjoying a extended stint in the team recently, and Wakefield dragged down in the area, and the referee has given handball against the former Nuneaton Town striker. Wakefield being grabbed from behind by Bates. Both men going to ground, but the referee thought there wasn't enough in the decision towards the Sphinx man. But as the ball trickled towards touch, it hits the standing arm of Harry Wakefield, and referee with no choice but to blow the whistle. So, virtually a goal kick scenario. Flicks off the head of Patrick Zito, and Sphinx will mop it up at the back with their standing number one, Alexander. Chips towards the right where Hayward's up for it. And got his bond solid, but flicked up the head behind of Sam Warburton for a throw-in just over the halfway line into Wellingborough territory. Draper, the local lad. And motor-mouth of the Sphinx group. Hayward. Carey nods it into the area, but it's easy pickings. Body cuts with a comfortable gather, and it's quickly out with Warburton. Drilled through to the midfield. Jones. Warburton again. For Obeng down the left-hand side. Jamie Draper, no nonsense defending, sticks it into touch. Wellingborough making progress. 10 minutes gone here at the Dog and Duck ground. It's still scoreless between Wellingborough and Coventry Sphinx. O'Connor. Bates, high one down the right-hand side. Winters will give chase. Zito should shepherd it into touch. And a little love shove from behind by Tyler Winters on his home debut. Free kick Coventry Sphinx in their own penalty area. The former Aston Villa youngster Patrick Zito doing enough to draw in the push. Alexander. Down the heart of the field. Wakefield up for it, as is Carey. O'Connor. Barnell nods it on, getting a head tears going on. Short-lived in the end as Iachafano blasts it down the right. Zito, towering presence, nods it away from Winters. But it's took on by Tommy Iachafano, and it's given us a free kick there against Tommy Iachafano. I think the studs of the Wellingborough man catching a Sphinx player on the thigh. We'll, of course, keep you up to date with what's going on around the grounds, especially at the CBS Arena, where Coventry City have the chance to continue another cup run. You can forget the Sky Blues' trip to the semi-final against Manchester United last year. They're taking on Premier League opposition again, this time at the CBS Arena against Ipswich Town. We'll also update you on the latest goings on from our own division, as Carey plays the through ball to Jordan Hayward, covered up by Warburton, and the slide made by Sam Warburton out for the corner. Finney Shark standing over it on the right-hand side. Shark towards that far post, punched by body cut. Into the edge of the box with Callum Woodward, the captain, knocked off his feet by Obeng. And tried to keep it on the far side of the field, just unable to prevent it from crossing the touchline. Coventry Sphinx with the throw-in, just shy of the box. And played away with Jones. Crowded midfield, catches Jones out. Woodward asking a lot of Wakefield, and Wakefield just hesitated for a moment, and that may have taken him out of the game as Bodycut just shields it into touch. And we're being told there's a penalty at the CBS Arena to Ipswich in the last couple of seconds, so we'll let you know if it's scored. Usually Ipswich's penalty taker is Connor Chaplin, but he's not in action today, the former Sky Blues man. Bodycut with the goal kick. Straight over the head of Finney Sharp. The distribution from Bodycut's not been brilliant so far. So throwing on the halfway line, which Shark will take. And it's been converted as Hurst has put Ipswich in front from the penalty spot. So Coventry City 0, Ipswich Town 1, George Hurst with the penalty. Another frame for Coventry Sphinx. Wakefield on the end of that frame from Shark, but hooked out by Bates on the far side. No nonsense defending from the Wellingborough defender. Throw from Shark, easy pickings for Bates. Just back into his own back line. And Vasani latches onto the interception. Battling with Jones, Carey. Through ball for Shark. It's a high one, too high for Wakefield. Warburton nods out the danger zone only as far as Vasani. Here's Hayward. Downs wants it played through with a path was blocked. Vasani switches the play to Kyle Burke. Deft pass to Kyle Carey. Bates tries to make the block, and again, still Kyle Carey, looking for a more central route in. Woodward trying to dink it through to Shark. He may well have been offside anyway, but Bodycut charges out and gathers. 15 gone in Northamptonshire, still scoreless. The Sphinx are finding their feet. They've had the better of the last 5 minutes. Ash Bodycut, the Wellingborough number 1, headed on by Jones, racing down the right-hand side to collect it. Drilled in towards that near post and stings the gloves of Alexander. Timmy Echefano looking to get on the score sheets early. Warburton. Now finds Salkin. Body has to quick think of that one. Launched it down the left-hand side. Draper, cushion header back to his goalkeeper in Alexander. If you're just tuning in and wondering where the hell is Charlie Woods, don't worry, he's only on a stag do. He's back next week. Sphinx with Kettering goalkeeper Jason Alexander between the sticks. Shark driving at the Wellingborough back line. Deflected off Barnell. Bates can't clear. Carey mops it up under pressure from Iachafano. Low ball into the air, but again, Wakefield can't be found. It's the feet of Ash Bodycut. Barnell. Just getting the ball caught between his feet. Zito picking up the pieces. Down his back, helping out. Lotted towards Wakefield. Flicked away by Salkin, right from the head of Wakefield. And cautiously played back to Bodycut. A couple of early goals to tell you about. Worcester City are certainly picking themselves up after that defeat against Wellingborough midweek. They're 2 up at home to Sporting Cowser, and Long Eaton are a goal to the good against Loughborough. Students elsewhere, no goals. There is a postponement, a very late postponement between Hinckley LRFC and Racing Club Warwick. Knocked around the middle of the park, Wellingborough maintaining possession well. Obeng. Jones. Warburton. It's back with Salkin. O'Connor, the captain, looking for the run of Barnell, and it's flicked on to George Barnell from Winters. Obeng to turn it home. Draper getting in the way. And Alexander bringing it to a safe stop at his near post. Alexander high into the sky, headed back where it came from by Barnell. to Fasani. His header collected by Will Jones. Warburton on the left side. Obeng. Poor touch from Jesse Obeng into touch on this near side. Alexander gets the throw in from Draper. Shark. Knotted up. Bates on the end of it. Shark again. Headed away from his head at the second time of asking in time by Jones. Barnell. Jones again encased in red and navy on that far side, but finds Barnell. Salkin. And a free changes for the Doughboys team today. Salkin still going. Iachafano and Salkin's continued the run. Obeng down the left-hand side, sifted through for Iachafano. Well, that was a target, but Jordan Hayward cutting it out and trying to blast it off Iachafano for the goal kick. Didn't quite have the legs it across the line, and Draper flashes it out on this near side, throwing level with the penalty area for Wellingborough Town. One of the oldest clubs in the country, dating back to 1867, the oldest club in Northamptonshire. Obeng. Driving by Warburton and put behind for the corner by Zito. Filling in for the injured Lewis Guest. Wellingborough holder of quite a distinction in England, the first club to play under floodlights back in 1879 against Bedford. The floodlights are on early, despite the fact that sunset is now past 5 o'clock in most parts of the country. The dark winter months slowly drawing to an end, which unfortunately means so is the season. Only about 3 months until it's game, set and match, and Sphinx will be hoping to be the right side of that relegation zone. They're 12 points up at the moment. Easily cleared by Alan Woodward. Fasani. Wayfield flicks it on. Carey, he was beyond the last man momentarily, but tracking back is the captain O'Connor. Still going Carl Carey, flushes it across the face of goal. Wayfield should get there before he crosses the line for the throw-in. No, he doesn't. It's just a pace or two behind it. Sphinx on the counter, looking dangerous. Just lacking that clinical nature which has benefited them so greatly in the last couple of weeks. Only been beaten twice since Christmas. Throw in level with their own box by Bates. Iachafano beaten mid-air by Jack Downs. Downs cushion header into touch. A few more yards gained on that throw in by Wellingborough. Will Bates towards Iachafano, flicked on by the head of the Wellingborough number 11. Intercepted by Fasani through the centre circle, being hassled and harried and grabbed by Winters. Wayfield trying to stay onside. He just strayed the wrong side of the Wellingborough back line. Fasani saw it, tried to hold this run, and has actually given it away to Wellingborough. And racing down the left-hand side now is Obeng, trying to pull it across for Iachafano. The block made and cleared by Draper. Winters back into midfield. Here's Warburton. Iachafano now waiting in the areas. Warburton has to play it behind to George Barnell. Switching the play to Will Bates. Avoids the lunge in by Shorrock. Just kept in by Will Jones, but the seconds will be collected by Zito under pressure from Tyler Winters. Finds a teammate in Kyle Burke, who lofts it towards Wakefield. O'Connell's made a mess of that on the halfway line, and Wakefield intercepts. Shark looking for Kyle Carey, but cut out by Brett Salkin. Bates. Iachafano pinballs through the midfield, eventually brought to the feet of Shark. Jones cuts out the ball towards Jack Downs. Curtis. Obeng. Dancing away from several challenges. It's a great slide in by Jamie Draper. Wakefield takes it too close to Barnell and punted through the back line. Coventry Sphinx can't take advantage. Bodycut waiting on the edge of the area. Frustrating game so far for the Sphinx attack, and we're over halfway through. Bertrand shielded into touch in his own corner and does so beautifully. Let us know if you're tuned in on the Coventry Sphinx YouTube channel. Massive shout out to Sonia Williams, who's a regular listener of our broadcasts. Shark deep into his own backyard. Wakefield flicks it on with the head. Here's for Saney. Plays it behind Jordan Hayward. Hayward gets there first ahead of Warburton. He wants the free kick as he saw the ball getting away from him. Referee saying I was trying to play the advantage, and now there is none. You've got yourself a free kick. A couple of yards away from the halfway line, right side of the centre circle. Callum Woodward will stand over it. Sphinx pushing men up. Everyone back except Tyler Winters for Wellingborough. Towards Wakefield, towering header by Barnell. Ichifano telling Winters to go early. He went a tad too early. Cito to Burke. Shorrock. Jack Downs, crossing opportunity, covered up by Barnell. Still going Downs. Towards Idris Hosseini, and out as far as Kyle Carey. Had the power behind him, but flies well wide. And there's been another goal at the CBS Arena. Coventry City have equalised through Joel Lassibaudiere. Well, Coventry did call Northamptonshire home for around 18 months, and let's just say that's best forgotten. Although that part of Sixfields does have a lasting legacy from Coventry, the hill next to it is now officially known as Jimmy Hill. Burke. It's Barnell getting up for it. Burke again. No one wants the ball at the moment in the midfield part of the field. Fasani. Again nodded away by Bates. Who can bring it down and play some football? Bates trying to shield from Wakefield. Shields long enough and gets the free kick out of it, actually, as Salkin blasted it on. Again, referee Mr. Price trying to give some leeway. But saw there was no advantage to be had. So a reminder there is that Coventry City have equalised with Joel Lassibaudiere in the 8th minute at the CBS Arena. And Long Eaton have just scored again. They're 2 up at home, so away at Loughborough Students.
We've been here about 4 or 5 times every season. I know.
So it's Bodycut with the free kick. That's 10 yards into his own turf. Towards the right. Burke up for it. Deflects to Winters. Winters shielding it on the touchline. Who got the final touch? It's a corner. Flicked behind, I believe, by Kyle Burke. And Jones is in need of some help. The number 17. Let's see for a reminder of the substitutes. By the way, one of the best names in football I've ever heard for one of the Wellingborough substitutes, Keontae Licorice Mullings. Brilliant name. He's on loan from Northampton as well, so there we go. Also, number 14, Nathan Stainfield. 15, Josh Rayfield. 16, Lloyd Buckby. And number 9, Neo Richard Knoll. We'll take you through the Sphinx subs in a moment. Warburton. Not the best of corners, but it's kept alive by Ichifano. Hook to the left. Jones back on his feet after that momentary injury stoppage. Ichifano again. Can he turn and shoot? No, he can't. Fasani blocked his path. Jones off balance. His cross cannons off Hayward. Jack Downs floated down the right for Carey to lurk in menacingly and forces the bounce out by Will Bates. And a quick throw from Hayward to Kyle Carey. Sphinx's top scorer with 10 goals. Whipped in towards Wakefield. Crucial header up by O'Connor. Seconds collected by Finley Shorrock on the left side of the box. O'Connor jockeying for position. Shorrock pulls the cross in, headed away as far as Jack Downs. Flying in was Obeng into the puff of O'Connor and volleys it into relative safety. Zito with the pressure from Winters. And Sphinx calm things down at the back now. Burke finds Draper at right centre-back. Hayward in position to start things on the wing if he's needed, but they're going to be cautious at the back with Zito and Burke. Burke downs the target, playing a higher line recently, but cut out by Bates. Winters on the run down the right. Zito beats him to the punch. Alexander closed down, and in the end, a pretty comfortable clearance. Vasani beats Curtis to it. Jordan Hayward. It's Hayward just curled away from the net. Plenty of swaz on it, but it was in the opposite direction. Coming towards the half-hour mark, we'll be going off there for around 10 minutes here on the Coventry Sphinx YouTube channel at half-time, so go and get yourself a glass of something cold or a mug of something hot. Get back here for 4 o'clock. Let's take you through the latest scores in the other FA Cup ties. At the moment, in fact, only one other game has got a goal in the FA Cup. And unfortunately, it's bad news for former Sky Blues boss Mark Robbins as Stoke are 2-0 down at home to Cardiff. Elsewhere, Everton 0-0 against Bournemouth, Preston and Wickham also scoreless. Southampton and Burnley, no surprise to see that's 0-0 as well. And in fact, no, as I was saying that, there have been 2 more goals. Bournemouth have just taken the lead against Everton, and Fulham are now 1 up at Wigan. Time really does fly. And Darlington have just taken the lead against struggling Lie in the pitching in Northern Premier League Midlands. That's good news for Coventry Sphinx, trying to maintain that 12-point gap to the drop zone, which they've earned through some brilliant form after Christmas. Shorrock onto the halfway line with Callum Woodward, the captain. Carey, was he dragged down there by Curtis? Yes, he was. There was a barge and a tug on Sphinx's top scorer, and Woodward trying to catch the Doughboys off guard. It's over Warburton. Little nick on the way through on Jordan Hayward and barge to the ground. Sam Warburton playing like his rugby namesake, but the referee says it's nothing doing. Hayward looks bemusingly across the lines on this near side. It was certainly forceful, but fair, according to the referee, Mr. Price. Body cut. Drifts towards the left-hand side with this one. Winters up for it. Oh, there was a definite kick in the face there on Tyler Winters by Patrick Zito. I didn't know he was that flexible. Well, it certainly rocked the head of Winters, and Zito's being called over. I don't doubt that Zito was going for the ball, but it certainly put his boots in a dangerous position, hitting the former Peterborough youngster straight between the eyes. Let's remind you of what's going on around the grounds in our own division. AFC Rushton Diamonds 0, Rugby Town 0, Boldmere 0, Bedworth 0, Coleshill Town 0, Shepshed 0, Corby 0, Anstey 0, Darlaston 1, Lie 0, Grantham 0, Quorn 0. Hinkley versus Racing Warwick, that was a very late postponement. Loughborough 0, Long Eaton 2, and Worcester 2, Sporting Cowser 0. Winters will lead the field momentarily. Of course, he needed some medical attention, so we'll say he has to leave the field briefly. Floated in, and the towering presence of Jason Alexander. He was like a walking block of flats. leaping up to gather that one, but it was an awkward landing for Alexander. And he's just going to try and stretch that one off. Of course, no sub-goalkeeper for Coventry Sphinx. O'Connor, and slightly soft there against Idris Hosseini, trying to shield the ball and just knock down from the back. Well, we're trying to take it quick there, but now Alexander is going to need some help too, and this is bad news for Coventry Sphinx. Alexander was called in to replace Charlie Woods, the Coventry Sphinx #1, who has been in the form of his life in recent weeks. 2 penalty saves in 2 outings against AFC Rushden Diamonds in 10 days. And the physio told she's not going to be needed. Jamie Draper is trying to give a bit of assistance to Alexander. Alexander on loan from Kettering for the day. I expect to see Charlie Woods back in the nets this time next week. Barnell's free kick. Wayfield wins that aerial duel. Hayward, and tripped on the way through. Curtis, referee says no. Hayward's not having the rub of the green today. Curtis trying to send Jones through. Dow's trying to shield it up, but he's failed in that task. And that's Warburton, past the Sphinx veteran. The cross is headed clear by Idris Hosseini. And now down the right, Dow's dusts himself off and plays it down for Harry Wakefield. Limited options and plenty of yellow and blue back. Hosseini onto Wakefield down the right. Blocked off by the Doughboys back line. Hayward takes it on. Will he try to give him go for Hosseini? It's Hosseini through, and Carey for the opener. Saved with the legs of Bodycuts. Carey couldn't have hoped for a better position, but played it straight down the line of sight of the Wellingborough #1. And from the throw, Carey's got it back, dinks it through for Jack Downs, just kicks it in. Does he? No, in fact, he's just took it over the line under pressure from Jesse Obeng. Well, the cross was picked up by, I think it was Solcon who got on the end of it. So it would have gone no further anyway. If you're just joining us here at the Dog and Duck Ground, it's Wellingborough Town 0, Coventry Sphinx 0, less than 10 minutes to go until half-time. The Sphinx have just had the chance of the match with their top scorer, Kyle Carey. Brilliant save with the legs of Bodycuts, the Wellingborough goalkeeper. And a goal kick's been given us. Jack Downs took it over the line, trying to get the cross in. Hosseini. It's been a great game so far from the Sphinx #4. Appeals of a foul there. Hosseini thinking he was... he had hands in the back from Will Jones, but Sphinx have got it back. Hayward on the halfway line, skips away from the challenge of Obeng. Looking for a route through a congested midfield. Hayward, and it's picked out by Iachafano, that loose ball. Slid on to Jones. Now Winters gives chase. Shoulder to shoulder with the sizable presence of Patrick Zito. Great shielding of the ball from the former Peterborough youngster. Takes a tumble, and the referee gives the free kick against Idris Hosseini. He had his arms out, trying to indicate he wasn't having a little ding-dong with Winters. But the appeals fall on deaf ears. Alexander organising his wall. Four-man wall for Hosseini, Shark, Downs and Zito. The big man covering off the near post option. Tommy Iachafano looking to gift Wellingborough the lead. Oh, the Six Nations doesn't kick off until 5 o'clock. A wasted opportunity for Tommy Iachafano. Alexander saw, but even he couldn't get his hands on that. Alexander's kick, just over the head of Downs, headed back towards his own goal by Barnell. Solken onto Winters. And Woodward Slides it back to his keeper, not afraid to get down and dirty. The Sphinx legend. Been sky blue and white since day one. Wakefield up for Alexander's kick. Just kicked in by Shark, was it? No, just crossed the line on the far side. And looking for the Sphinx left wing back. And well, we were going to go through the Sphinx substitutes early. We didn't get the chance to do so, but there is a very welcome return for Riley Nicholson amongst the 5 on the bench. Nicholson's been out for a while with an injury, but he is ready for action again. Also on the bench, Rowan Nui, the teenager. Alex Locke back from his travels. Luke Shearer, following a hamstring injury, has also returned to the squad. And Harvey Smith, hoping to make his second Sphinx appearance, has returned to the club. We've just been told that there was a delayed kickoff for Coventry City against Ipswich. We were wondering why, because the Sky Sports app was showing everyone had kicked off except for City. We're not entirely sure why the game was so late in starting. But when George Hurst scored his penalty, it noticed it was being 2 minutes in. And we at Sphinx and Wellingborough were more than 10 minutes in. So that proves why there was a few issues going on at the CBS Arena. A reminder, it's still 1-1 between Coventry City and Ipswich at the CBS in the FA Cup 4th round, and 0-0 between the Sky Blue and Whites of Coventry Sphinx and Wellingborough. Warburton picks it up in Sphinx territory as it was hooked on by Hayward. Jesse Oben cutting in from the right, sliding by Hayward, just enough to take it into the path of Fasani. Barnell trying to latch onto that through ball. Carey did get there, but the through ball attempt to Wakefield is intercepted well by Jack O'Connor, the Doughboys captain. Barnell over to Will Bates. Knocking it around in their own half as we enter the last 5 minutes of the first half. Chip ball by Solcombe, and he's chipped it right down the middle of Bates and Barnell. Throwing the halfway line to Coventry Sphinx. It's Shark to Carey. Carey looks for Shark, and Bates surging onto it and skipping past Carey. Was a bit ambitious with the through ball attempt to Winters. And Alexander calms things down and gathers in the fringe of his 6-yard box. Seems to have shaken off that awkward landing around 5 minutes ago. Barnell wins that aerial duel with Wakefield. Jack Downs onto the chest of Kyle Carey. Woodward higher on towards the final third for Wellingborough, turned away by Bates. Vasani returned to sender. Shark in a battle with Bates. He's come out with the ball and forced down by George Barnell. Sphinx with the free kick in the left-hand corner of the penalty area. We saw the Doughboys particularly wasteful with that free kick attempt for Iachafana. Let's see what the visiting team can do. Carey's going to leave it for Shark and Woodward. Does Woodward go for the in-swinger? He does. And Draper at the far post, not to the cross, onto the roof of the net. Draper's been getting closer and closer to scoring in the last couple of the games, but still that goal tally stands at 0. Buttercup taking his time as we approach the interval. Well, this is my second game of the day, as we actually covered the Birmingham County Cup semi-final between Coventry Sphinx girls under 16s and Stourbridge. That ended 0-0, and unfortunately Sphinx lost 3-1 on penalties. But I want to say a massive shout out to all the players for the Sphinx under 16s girls. They made their club and their families very, very proud. O'Connor across the back line to Bates. Obenga swapped wings. He couldn't get to the ball, just drifted over the right touch line. It's not been the first half chock-a-block of chances. Both keepers with one real save to make. Bodycott having to be called into action slightly more. Shot towards Wakefield, diving header out by Bates. Swan dive effort at the Dog and Duck ground. How many animals do you need in one sentence? Sharks throw on towards Wakefield. Classic header by Wakefield, only to the feet of O'Connor. Woodward onto it for the Sphinx. Plays it behind Hayward. Hayward's got on the end of it. Woodward wants it back. Down the right-hand side for Callum Woodward. First time cross, headed away at the near post by Salkin. And a throw in just shy of the penalty area for Coventry Sphinx, taken quickly by Hayward. Here's Draper. Coded in by Draper. Fasini couldn't get his head on it. And brought down by Bodycut. And a free kick as Burke sticks a leg out on Tom Iachafano, and a yellow card for the former Boldmere man. And another goal at the CBS Arena. And, well, Coventry may have had a player called Jordan Clark recently, but this is not a Jordan Clark goal. They're going to celebrate. It's 2-1 to Ipswich. And the referee plays no added time. It's not been the most exciting opening 45 minutes of the season, but both sides just trying to find their feet and feel each other out. They certainly have done so. The next 45 minutes should be a lot more exciting. Coventry Sphinx with the chance of the first half as Kyle Carey smacked it against the legs of Bodycut between the six for Wellingborough. But it ends here at the Dog and Duck ground, the first half at least, as Wellingborough Town 0, Coventry Sphinx 0. You join us at the Dog and Duck ground for a game which so far has very much been cat and mouse. A very tight encounter between Coventry Sphinx and Wellingborough Town in the opening 45 minutes. And we're set to go for the conclusion of this pitching in Northern Premier League Midlands tie. But we can see no changes during the break. So let's get you a run through once again of the starting lineup. So once again for Wellingborough, number 1, Ash Bodycut. 2, Will Bates. 3, Sam Warburton. 4, Brett Salkin. 5, Captain Jack O'Connor. Number 6, George Barnell. 7, Jesse Obeng. 8, Joe Curtis. 17, Will Jones. 10, Tyler Winters. And 11, Tom Iachifano. And for Coventry Sphinx this afternoon, number 1, Jason Alexander. 2, Jamie Draper. 3, Finley Shorrock. 4, Idris Fasani. 5, Pat Zito. 6, Kyle Burke. 7, Jordan Hayward. Number 8, Callum Woodward. 9, Harry Wakefield. 10, Kyle Carey. And 11, Jack Downs. Well, we told you before half-time that the first half at Coventry City started late. It was delayed by 10 minutes, and during half-time, Ipswich have scored again. It's Coventry 1, Ipswich 3, a second goal through former Sunderland wizard on the wing, Jack Clark. And the second half underway. Sphinx kicking from right to left in their changed strip of red and navy hoops with the red shorts and red socks. Wellingborough in a checked yellow and blue home kit. Hopeful ball from the midfield from Callum Woodward. Cautious ball back by Salkin. Bodycut distributed down the centre of the park. Draper up for it. Carey's offside. Flag stays down against him as he ensures his... Well, he doesn't say up against him this time, though, as it's floated over the back line. Wakefield was onside, but Kyle Carey wasn't. And as soon as he latched onto it, the flag was raised on that far side. First off, a very few chances. One for Wellingborough, which was saved rather simply at the near post after a deflection of Jamie Draper. The chance of the game no doubt fell to Kyle Carey, one-on-one with Bodycut, and saved beautifully by the legs of the Wellingborough number 1, and Obeng. Deflected cross in, hooked out by Kyle Burke with Iachifano lurking menacingly and bounces behind Iachifano again. The flag raised against the Wellingborough number 11, bringing a halt to that move. Alexander with the free kick within his own penalty area. Hey, we're trying to get on the aerial pass, but it's nodded clear by Salkin. Obeng, they attempt to flick it past Woodward. Fail, and Hayward marches on for the Sphinx. Carey with him, but plenty of blue shirts back. Jordan Hayward. Cross flies behind for the goal kick. There's really no one home for Hayward. Cross before he locked up. Plenty of famous faces have played on this hallowed turf over the years, including Trevor Benjamin, former Jamaican international, formerly of Coventry City and Leicester. Vic Watson, West Ham United's all-time top scorer and an England international. And of course, Phil Neal, Liverpool legend and England star in the 70s and 80s. Hayward. Offside appeals against Wakefield. This time the flag stays down. Well, no doubt Carey was offside. Sees the ball fly past him. Fasani puts Bodycut under pressure and forces the throw. Quick thinking from the dynamic central midfielder. Hayward waits for options to present themselves. It's to the feet of Wakefield. Wakefield crowded out, but the seconds falter down. It's lofted into the area for Harry Wakefield. Both hands to at the near post. Bodycut does the necessaries for Wellingborough. Corner to follow. Callum Woodward standing over it. Towards the far post, a punch by Bodycut. Does the trick for now, but Burke onto it. Bodycut back on his line. Drills it towards the bottom corner, but Bodycut down. And brings it to a safe halt. Sphinx firing out of the blocks in the first 4 minutes. Already had 2 efforts at the Wellingborough goal. And the counter comes to nothing for Wellingborough. The ball down the right-hand side by Will Bates. Winters gave chase, but trickles into touch for the goal kick. Alexander's kick headed up by O'Connor. Wakefield beats Curtis, that aerial punch. Rassani in for it. It's collected by Barnell, the central midfielder for Wellingborough. Warburton sends one high towards Iachafano, towering header by Zito. That's with Kyle Carey. Tried to find Shark through the left-hand side, cut out by Iachafano, lofts it towards the Wellingborough attacker in Tyler Winters, dragged down the edge of the area. No foul given, and in fact it's the Sphinx man, Jamie Draper, who stayed down. Thankfully back on his feet now. Barnell. It's with Tommy Iachafano. Barnell's alongside him. Here is the Wellingborough number 6. Iachafano swatting aside several challenges. Eventually receives a little bit of a tug from behind by Kyle Burke. And Burke, of course, has to be careful. He's already on a yellow card. It's not going to be a second, but he's walking a tightrope in this second half. Joe Curtis standing over it. Will you try and tuck it in the near post or go for an option further afield? Three-man wall awaits. Curtis goes it towards the far post, and Draper gets his bonce on that one out as far as Will Jones, who's been kept quiet for the majority of the game. The offside flag is raised on this near side against Wellingborough Town. So it's now half-time at the CBS Arena. Coventry City 1, Ipswich Town 3. So the game will probably finish after our game, so make sure to go and check out the Coventry City socials for updates on that. They kicked off 10 minutes late. Here's Warburton. Forced back into his own half of the field. Jack O'Connor across to Will Bates at right back. Jesse Obeng started on the left wing, now on the right. Hassled and harried by Shorrock, and Shorrock does well to force Obeng into touch. He did have a little grab at the back of Obeng's shirt. Shorrock called back towards the linesman, trying to take the throw slightly out of position there. Shorrock towards Wakefield. Bates bringing it down. Shorrock steams in, but Obeng able to find Bates again, and Will Bates trying to steam through the Sphinx back line, lays it up to Winters, and Winters going for glory and not finding it. High, wide, and not at all handsome. Not making the impact he would have liked on his dog and duck ground bow. Wellingborough Town, the reigning champions of the United Counties League South, beating runners-up Racing Club Warwick by 12 points in a historic season for the Doughboys. Winters. Jones looking for a route down the left-hand side, tangling legs with Draper. Played behind to Curtis. Warburton forced back into his own vicinity. And a poor ball by Salkin, gives it away to his opposite number 4 in Vasani. Lunges at Vasani. Sphinx tried to continue, but the ball from Versailles towards Harry Wakefield connects with Barr. No, it actually came back to Versailles, but the referee had already pulled the advantage back and given the free kick around 15 yards into Wellingborough's half of the field. Wellingborough sub going for a warm-up. We could see the first alterations momentarily. Coventry Sphinx's subs nestled warmly in the away dugout. Woodward floated in. Vasani flicked on with a header only as far as Salkin. And Sphinx have got the corner. Jordan Hayward and Joe Curtis both go for the same ball on the edge of the area. It looks like it's been flicked behind by Curtis for the Sphinx set piece. A chilly afternoon in Northamptonshire. Sphinx home to light it up with this corner. Shorrock crowded near post, but Bodycock gets there first. And Callum Woodward with one of the most wayward efforts of his career. And it's been a long career. I would have said it would be 3 points to Coventry Sphinx, but unfortunately he didn't even go between the posts. Bodycut. Burke's up for it, beaten mid-air by his opposite number 6 in Barnell. We're just trying to latch onto that header, and also noticed the area by Iachafano, but no one home for the Doughboys. Alexander curling to the left from the hands of the keeper. O'Connor only as far as Shorrock. Sphinx pressing men towards the area. Wakefield looks for delivery from the left-hand side, covered off by Bates. Deflected ball in, headed out by O'Connor. Jones steals a march on Fasani. No one home for the long ball though. Jamie Draper mopping it up. There is going to be a change for Wellingborough coming up with Richard Knoll coming on. Down to low drive from the right, out for the corner. Quick thinking by Salkin. Salkin has, I believe, has gone down with an injury. And 2 changes coming up for Wellingborough, in fact. Well, we know one of them. Richard Knoll will definitely be coming on, and that's the number 16 on the back. That's Lloyd Buckby. So Richard Knoll and Lloyd Buckby both set to make their bows in the second half. Shark on set piece duty. Good clean header at the near post by Joe Curtis. Just juggles the ball, volleys it towards the halfway line and returned to sender by Draper. Curtis, Obeng. Didn't have the power behind that header towards the right for Iachafano, but punted clear on the weekend of the Super Bowl by Jack Downs. Bodycut. Draper, hometown boy, heads it clear. Warburton. And Draper could have fallen far. The referee's whistle there was a forceful challenge on Iachafano. Referee plays Sphinx in. And Wakefield's been played in by Kyle Carey. It's Wakefield, side netting. It would have been a popular goal for the away side, but it was the wrong side of the post for Sphinx's number 9. And here come the changes from Wellingborough Town. They're leaving the field, number 7, Jesse Obeng. He's replaced by number 9, Richard Knoll. And no, they're not paying me for the stadium announcing gig. And Tyler Winters is off, and Lloyd Buckby on in his place. So to recap, Obeng and Winters off, Buckby and Richard Knoll on. The latest scores from the FA Cup. A reminder of the full-time scores first. Leeds beaten 2-0 at home to Millwall. A surprise result there, and nearly the shock to end all shocks, as Leighton Orient led Manchester City for a good old while, but City, sadly for football, got the winner late on through Kevin De Bruyne. The latest scores: Everton 0, Bournemouth 2, Preston 0, Wickham 0, Southampton 0, Burnley 0. Stoke have come from behind, 2-0 behind at home to Cardiff. They're now 2-2. Good stuff for former Sky Blues boss Mark Robbins. And Fulham have just scored a second at Wigan. They're up 2-1. Icefano. Buckby trying to get there ahead of Callum Wood with the ball already gone by the time Woodward made contact with the Wellingborough substitutes. Hopeful appeals for a penalty, falling on deaf ears. Carries control, swiped away from under his nose by Icefano. Warburton the far side of the field. Curtis, swung up by Solken. Chest control by Richard Knoll and taken on by Jones. Shoving the back of Jamie Draper, who falls down theatrically, but no, that is going to be a free kick. And more changes for Wellingborough, not content with this current 0-0 scoreline. They're going to bring on Nathan Stainfield for Brett Solken. So it looks like a like-for-like change at the back. Coventry Sphinx's bench still not stirring. They have a defensive option in Riley Nicholson, midfielders in Alex Locke, and 3 attackers in Newey, Shearer and Smith. Draper up for that one with Richard Knoll, and Draper's gone down. He's going to need a bit of help here. The referee has been lofted out by Patrick Zito, and Richard Knoll just making sure Draper's okay. Both men going for the same aerial ball, and I think Draper's come out worse for wear on that one. As we said, if Draper can't concede, there is a like-for-like change in Riley Nicholson, but Nicholson's not really kicked a ball since the back end of November. So not the ideal way to recall Nicholson into the squad in a very high-pressure game. Let's have a look through the latest scores, and really there have not been that many goals around the pitching in Premier League Midlands. AFC Richton Diamonds and Rugby still scoreless, as are Boldmere and Bedworth. Kozel 1-0 at home to Shepshed. Corby 0, Anstey 0. Darlaston leading Lye by 1-0. Quorn are still being held at struggling Grandford, 0-0 in that one. Hingley versus Redcliffe Warwick, as we said earlier, was postponed. Loughborough 0, Long Eaton 2, and Worcester City back in form, 4-0 up against Sporting Castle, who appear to be very hot and cold this season. As it stands in the pitching in Northern Premier League Midlands, we'll tell you in a moment, because unfortunately they've just added adverts to the football web pages app, so it slows it down a little bit. Spinks Woods stay in 14th, with the sides above and below them both drawing, but it would bring them a point closer, I should say, to Loughborough. They'd then be 2 points behind 12th place. So really, if they can actually get a winner here, Spinks could go up to 12th with Loughborough losing. It's a big if. Just saying that so the Wellingborough fans let me go home tonight rather than beat me up. Here's Fassani. Sifting through a congested midfield. Look for the bouncing ball to Warburton. Interception made by O'Connor. And Woodward, a challenge and a half on Tommy Icefano. Takes it only as far as O'Connor. Doesn't do things by halves as the Sphinx captain. And Jones doesn't do things by halves either. Another goal for Will Jones. You can't call him a super sub this time, but he's certainly making a difference. 1-on-1 with Jason Alexander finally gives Wellingborough the lead. Played up from the back, sifted through for Will Jones, and when he had the goal at his mercy, he was never going to pass up the opportunity. Jones's incredible form continues. He got the winning goals on Tuesday night, and he's took that scoring streak into Saturday. Wellingborough Town 1, Coventry Sphinx 0. Right, it's certainly G'd up the home faithful. The main stand here at the Dog and Duck ground. Sphinx still have plenty of options from the bench, so it's not curtains just yet, but they need to pick themselves up and fast. Zito getting the ball tangled between his legs. Hooks it down the left, headed away from the head of Wakefield to Curtis. Richard Knoll lets it get away from him, challenged in by Hayward, and Hayward plays a 1-2 with Jamie Draper. Rolling it into the centre circle, through the centre circle to Finley Shorrock. Wakefield is waiting for it, but Hayward latches on. John Hayward, did he go behind via a touch from O'Connor? Yes, he did. Corner Coventry. And just by the way, for any Coventry City fans tuning in, turnaround complete for Mark Robbins. They were 2-0 down at home to Cardiff. Lewis Baker has just made it 3-2 to Stoke. Great stuff for the Coventry City's, former Coventry City's legendary manager, Woodward. What's that far post? And Draper nods it on, but didn't find his way for a sea of bodies. Tried the aerial effort, in fact. And another chance for Coventry Sphinx is spurned. .25 to go here at the Dog and Duck ground, and Coventry Sphinx are sending some options down the touchline for a walk. That looks like Luke Shearer preparing to come on. He's been struggling since a hamstring injury against Boldmere a few weeks ago, but is now fit to play. Richard Knoll, his through ball is blasted off the sliding body of Draper. Carey. Step over, gives him a little bit of separation from Barnell. Barnell slides in and touches it out for the throw-in, just shy of the penalty area. Quick throw from Carey, eggs of space for Downs. Is he going to try and hit it? He's covered off well by Lloyd Buckby. Forced back to Burke. Just finds for Sane, despite the best efforts of Richard Knoll. The crossfield ball by Hayward, collected by Iachafano. Fonked upfield, and Jones will try and get on the end of it again. This time Zito is back to pick up the pieces. Here's Alexander, the man mountain. Depth at times between the sticks for Coventry Sphinx, replacing Charlie Woods, who's in sunnier climes at the moment. Shorrock, heavy touch, but allows Carey onto it in the centre circle. Now Zito, the former Aston Villa youngster, signed from Quorn in the summer. Burke to Shorrock. Downs wants it played to feet, as does Wakefield. Decisions, and now finds Harry Wakefield. Dribbling cross towards the near post, and I think Shorrock chose the wrong one. Body cut with a simple gather. Body cuts away. Not heads it back, and Hayward caught on the ankle by Joe Curtis, and that is a bread and butter yellow card. Well, as the fan sections are saying, we've seen reds for that in the past. Probably halfway between a yellow and a red. Certainly depends on the referee, I think we can say on that one. Mr. Price giving with the benefit of the doubt on that one. Just a yellow for Joe Curtis. Sphinx not ready to make their first change just yet, but we are expecting arrivals with Luke Shearer warming up along the touchline. The former Racing Club Warwick winger. Sphinx are just lacking something on the wings. Over halfway through this second half, and Sphinx find themselves behind by 1-0. Alexander tries to get the Sphinx on the right path with this free kick 5 yards into his own turf. Towards Wakefield, sandwiched between Bates and Buckby. Referee says nothing doing in the seconds. Forward to Downs. Blocked by the chest. Burke closed down by Buckby. Rolls it through the centre circle. Draper fought back, coming for it, and then retreats and sees Barnell racing towards him and waits for Barnell to come to him. And Draper classes into Barnell, and he's going in the referee's little black book next. Yellow card for Jamie Draper. Product of the Sphinx Youth Academy. Free kick to come in from Lloyd Buckby. The second goal would give Wellingborough the desired breathing room. Buckby in, it's over O'Connor, it's straight out for the goal kick. And Baldmere have just taken the lead at home to Bedworth through Kevin and Gombe. So, yet more woe for Bedford despite their signings this week. Grantham at the moment are set to gather a point against Corn. In fact, no, there's been another goal. Grantham have held on against Corn for the last hour, but now are behind. Corn lead by 1-0 at Grantham. And here's Hayward. Pulls it back. Jack Downs off the line. Faseni deflected through. Idris Faseni with his second goal in 3 games. And his first within the 90 minutes. Faseni kisses the hallowed turf. He may as well kiss his boots. Because that wand of a right peg from Idris Faseni has given Coventry Sphinx parity at the Duggan Duck ground. A strike certainly befitting a bark rather than a quack. And Coventry Sphinx are right back in this. It's 1-1 at the Duggan Duck ground, straight on the assault. Will Bates in the area to try and pull it back already for Wellingborough. On the slide, couldn't get to the ball before it crossed the line for the cross. Faseni got the winning goal in added time at Baldmere St Michael's a couple of weeks ago. Goals either side of that defeat against AFC Rushden Diamonds last week. Well, Coventry Sphinx did beat AFC Rushden Diamonds at their patch literally 10 days before, with goals from Wakefield and Callum. But unfortunately then, a late turnaround through Rushden got their first victory since November. It was certainly a heartbreak of a Coventry Sphinx, but now we're seeing that never say die attitude again from the sky blue and white in what has been a fantastic turnaround after Christmas. They've only lost twice, and they're going to try and keep that record intact. Carey telling Harry Wakefield, go long. Well, maybe not that long. It rolls out for the goal kick as that ball from inside Sphinx territory. And Shearer still warming up. The Sphinx have not made their first change yet. Wellingborough have made 3 on what's been an off-colour afternoon for the home side. Draper. Poor passing at the back. Downs forced over by Curtis. Referee says nothing doing. Woodward curls it right and curls it behind Jordan Hayward and out. Throw in deep into their own turf for Wellingborough Town. nodded out again. The Sphinx think that it came off a blue head rather than a red one. Referee doesn't agree. Well, as it stands, Coventry Sphinx would stay 12 clear because Lye have equalised in their game, and Rugby also drawing. They would go a point further afield of Bedworth, though. I know Bedworth just equalised too. There's been a lot of goals in the last couple of minutes. We'll try and keep you up to date with what's going on. Goals have been flying in thick and fast. We'll give you an update on what's gone on next time the ball goes out of play. Burke. Straight to the left-hand side, headed away by Bates. A corner to Warburton. Sam Warburton needs some help from his friends in blue. Comes towards Richard Knoll, but snapped away from behind by Jamie Draper. Vasani. Curled left by Callum Woodward. Shorrock, not the best of first touches, draws Bates in. Burt tries to clear, comes at the head of Will Bates. Zito finishes the job, and it's over the back line. Wakefield and Carey are through. Wakefield gives it a go, and the free kick been given against Wakefield. Referee indicating they hit him on the underarm. Just as he was about to enter the penalty area, frustration for Wakefield. It's not been his day at all. Ijafano lofted the ball towards the area. Zito cushion header down for Burke. Burke can't clear. Buckby makes the block, and Buckby goes down hurt after a blow from the Sphinx defender. But it's locked in towards Will Jones. And at the far post is Richard Knoll, stopped on the line by Alexander. How will Sphinx survive there? Back in by Buckby, comes at the back of Shorrock. Buckby again. Carey tries to swing clear. Curtis. Ijafano prime for the strike. Lunging in is Rassani, and Sphinx on the counter. Hayward. Carey driving forward, surrounded by blue shirts. He's on a one-man mission here, the Sphinx top scorer. Dancing away from challenges from Warburton. Jack Downs, back heel, Wakefield. He was caught out by the trickery of the Sphinx legend, and Bodycup bringing an incredible back and forth move to an end. Jason Alexander clearing from his own goal line as Wellingborough look to get themselves in front again. Richard Knoll forcing Draper down from behind. The Wellingborough fans aren't happy about it. Richard Knoll just forcing himself into the back of Draper in the penalty area.
Go on, boys, go for the draw.
Let's have a look through the current scores now. There have been a lot of changes. Rushton 0, Rugby 0. Bedworth have equalised at Boldmere. It's Boldmere 1, Bedworth 1. Kozel still 1 up at home to Shepshed Dynamo. Lye have equalised at Darlington. That could be a crucial point for the Flyers. Quorn 1 up at struggling Grantham. Long Eaton 4-0 up at Loughborough Students. And, well, Wellingborough fans, if you want to know how good of a result it was on Tuesday night, Worcester City are 6-0 up at home to Sporting Cowser. Bodycutter, another change is being prepared. It looks like Kianse Licorice Mullins is coming on, the Northampton youngster. And Callum Wood was staying down with an injury in the centre circle. It was a head injury, it appears. If that is the case, the referee should have stopped the game. Thankfully, the attack comes to nothing down the right for Wellingborough. Burke turning it away, but Callum Wood was trying to shake the cobwebs off here. Downs. Onto Wakefield. Here's for Saney. Up there for man of the match. Let us know who you think it should be on the Coventry Sphinx YouTube channel. Hayward just gets there before he goes out for the throw-in on the halfway line. We can only find the Wellingborough substitute, Nathan Stainfield. Here's Curtis. Neo Richard Knoll. Certainly happy to be benched today. Curtis. Bobbling through to the captain, O'Connor. Bates. Beats Short with that ball to Tommy Ijafano, but Short steams in with a challenge one-on-one with Ijafano and lofts it down the left-hand side. Wakefield's not going to get there. Bodycott swings it away down the right. Shark up for it. It's off the head of Barnell, only as far as Callum Woodward. Mayfield's offside, could make no contact with the ball. O'Connor heads it towards Fasani for Coventry Sphinx. Neither side able to maintain possession more than a couple of seconds at the moment. Burke lets it go, and now Callum Woodward is going to need some help here. He went down with an apparent head injury. Really, the referee should have stopped the game if he noticed this. He clearly didn't. And Woodward just needs a minute here to try and gather his bearings. As they're about to enter the last half hour at the CBS Arena, Coventry City still 3-1 down at home to Ipswich. A second-minute penalty from George Hurst and a double from former Sunderland man Jack Clark, putting the Tractor Boys in front. And despite Kyle Burke tying his boots, the referee telling Finney Shire to take the throw. Not particularly found Coventry Sphinx there, but Zito thumps that upfield. Oh, one for Warburton. His header is intercepted by Jordan Hayward. Now into the centre circle with Downs. Sphinx starting to move a little more freely here at the Dog and Dog ground. Here's Shorrock. Will he cut in from the left or go for the cross? Turns away from Bates. Carey curls it in. Wakefield was at the far post, headed clear by Stainfield. And Iachafano lost it over the Sphinx back line, but crucially Jones couldn't make the run. Alexander between the sticks for Coventry Sphinx. Rolled out to Draper. Sphinx still yet to delve into their substitute package. Downs being pulled from one side and another, and eventually as he fights back against Curtis, shrugs the number 8 to the ground. The referee's assistant flags on the far side for a free kick to the home side. Wellingborough, one of my favourite nicknames in the non-league pyramid, the Doughboys. If you're wondering why they're known as that, it's the nickname actually derives from their local delicacy, Ocken dough, which is essentially a bacon and vegetable pasty. Shark tries to clear, and Woodward thumps it away, but Shark has gone down with an injury here. He was caught on the knee. And the physio is being drafted over, and Alex Locke is going for a warm-up too. Shearer's been warming up for the last 20 minutes. And in fact, no, I think the decision's been made. Alex Locke is coming on. Are Sphinx going to go for a back four? Callum Woodward's gone down now too. Sphinx with a real injury headache. Shark with an injury to the left knee, and Callum Woodward has not been right since that blow to the head a couple of minutes ago. And Alex Locke is going to come on for Coventry Sphinx in what will more than likely be an attacking change for Coventry Sphinx. Locke has played most of his career as a central midfielder, but at Sphinx he has played almost as a centre forward. Sphinx are going to have to make a change at wing back. They have options in Nui and Shearer, not particularly defensive options, but they can play on the wing. Less than 10 minutes to go, and Coventry Sphinx are about to delve into their bag of trips. Nui and Locke going for a warm-up now, so it looks like the teenage sensation Rowan Nui now finally able to buy himself a pint, having turned 18. Well, they're both set to come on. Nui brought in from the Future Pro Academy in the summer, basically just to learn the trade, but has ended up becoming an integral part in the Coventry Sphinx team. And a fourth goal at the CBS Arena for Ipswich. It's Philogene, the former Aston Villa man, which has surely put the Sky Blues' hopes of another cup run to bed. Jaden Philogene in the 63rd minute, ending the Sky Blues' cup run beyond all doubt. Bases throw. Sphinx continue with 11 men for now. Shark and Woodward both struggling, but both continuing. Carey, lofty ball down the left-hand side, off the head of Bates, and all the way back to Bodycut. Jones up for the delivery. As is Burke, it's heading into the area. The Neo, Richard Knoll. Can he get the wrong side of Draper? No, he can't. Draper stood firm. And did his best Gandalf impression. You shall not pass. Downs. Shark driving on. Still going Shark. Takes it a little too close to Barnell. Drags the arm of the Wellingborough number 6. And that'll be a free kick on the edge of his own area for Barnell. Still well to draw the foul in there. Here's Stainfield. O'Connor. Bates. Steps past Sharrock. Leaps out of the way of the challenge. The referee gives play on. And the advantage is gone. There's Burke in the sets from Iachafano. Woodward punts it up for Wakefield to get chased. He's not going to get there. Connor doing just enough to beat Wakefield to the punch. And it's played back out with Jack O'Connor, the Wellingborough captain. But again, sloppy play in midfield from Wellingborough. Woodward. So he's got the free kick there. Indeed he has, Coventry Sphinx. Got themselves a free kick as Woodward was shoved aside. And changes are afoot. Certainly for Wellingborough, coming on is Josh Rayfield. And he is on in place of Tom Iachafano. So that's 4 changes so far for Wellingborough Town, and Coventry Sphinx still with the 11 who started proceedings at the Dog and Duck ground. I've seen Locke and Newey getting ready, but they remain in the dugout. Woodward's taking a few blows to the head in this game, but he's not going to leave his team in the lurch. The free kick, towering header away by his opposite captain, and O'Connor. Will come back with Hayward. Surrounded by blue shirts and eventually dispossessed by Sam Warburton. Drilled through for Jones. Shoulder to shoulder with Zito. Zito wins that battle of strength. They'll come back with Warburton though. Jones. Richard Knoll trying to beat Draper for pace. He's took it out. Trying to trick his way past Sphinx, his hometown boy. But takes it over the touchline on the far side. It's looking to be a frustrating afternoon for Wellingborough. Coventry would certainly be the happier of the two sides coming here to Wellingborough with still a very real possibility of playoffs and coming away with a point. He nodded out. Well, Wellingborough fans, avert your ears. AFC Rushden Diamonds have just taken the lead against Rugby. I knew that one was going to go down well. 70th minute goal through Nathan Burrows. But that is good news for Coventry Sphinx because Rugby Town are one of the sides below them. So,
I'll be ready.
well, Sphinx do get the late winner here. They could go up to 12, so they're not that lowly. Don't worry, Sphinx fans, I'm fighting our battles here. It's curled around the back line by Kyle Carey. Burke. Shark beaten to it by Bates, but Bates can only find touch. It's going to be a throw into Coventry Sphinx in a dangerous position. Boldmere have just taken the lead again against Bedworth. And the throw from Shark shepherded into touch by Bates. And yes, I was a commentator for Bedworth for 6 months, and the first thing he told me was, do not ever pronounce the W. It is a cardinal sin in those parts. Southall, yeah, that's another one. Chiswick. There's a couple. There's a few out there. Leave the commentator professionals. Here's O'Connor for Wellingborough. I must say, we've got a jovial lot here at Wellingborough. It's certainly one of my favourite away days so far this season. Rayfield smothered on this near side. Does get the throw-in out of it halfway into Sphinx territory. We're into the last minute of normal time. Time really has flown here at the Dog and Duck ground. Wellingborough are running out of time to get themselves a victory. Here's Buckby. Deflected out and another throw into Wellingborough, and Sphinx, despite having 5 men on the bench, have not made a single change. A wide change of formula that's working at the moment. Sphinx at the moment about to pick up a very important point. Fasani. Tangling with Rayfield there. It's cleared as far as Barnell. Bates. Goes it down the right cushion, header by Kyle Burke, and Mayfield tried to keep it in, but it's going to be a throw-in quickly taken by Bates to O'Connor in the Wellingborough half. Sphinx not extending themselves too much. Stainfield. Wellingborough pushing on for the winner. Richard Knoll tangles with Draper. It's back through to Neo Richard Knoll. And launched down that far side by Patrick Zito, the former Aston Villa youngster, paying dividends for the Sky Blue and White. And another match ball is going to be needed. We are into added time now. It has not been announced. I'm gonna wager 3 minutes. Warburton. Deflected off Hayward, corner Wellingborough. Will the dough rise in added time, or are the home side going to be left with a soggy bottom? Lloyd Buckby. Alexander gathers well at the near post and tries to get Sphinx on the front foot. Launches it towards Kyle Carey. Downs is racing up down the right-hand side. Carey's got on the end of it. Bates trying to jockey for position. Carey trying to duck and dive past the number 2. Deflected through for Jack Downs. Saved by the goalkeeper. The seconds fall out to Harry Wakefield. Pulls it back. Jonathan Hayward. Another great save for Fasani! It's the Idris Fasani show at the Dog and Dog grounds. We remarked earlier, he only scores an added time, and he's popped up again. He points to the skies when Coventry Sphinx will thank their saviour in added time. In the 47th minute, Coventry Sphinx return to type. They're victors again on the roads, and a huge scalp set to come to them in Northamptonshire. Wellingborough throwing the kitchen sink at Coventry Sphinx late on. But with one last onslaught, Coventry Sphinx snatched the goods.
Well deserved. Stuck at it all game.
And the last roll of the dice for Wellingborough Town, and it is Kianse Licorice Mullings, the Northampton Town youngster. Launched in towards Patrick Zito, penalty! Oh, I don't believe it! 30 seconds after Coventry Sphinx thought they'd won the game, Patrick Zito with a wayward boot. Talk about a topsy-turvy game. Yellow card to Patrick Zito, and Will Jones is going to take the spot kick. Charlie Woods has saved his last 2 penalties. He's elsewhere. The loney Jason Alexander from Kettering Town has got to live up to Charlie Wood's reputation here to save the victory for Coventry Sphinx. Jones for his second consecutive brace converts, and Wellingborough saved themselves at the last possible opportunity. 49 minutes in, 2 injury time goals, a game which has not offered a particularly great viewing for the vast majority, but has come to life when the 90 minutes elapsed. Will Jones, for the second time in a week, has got Wellingborough out of jail. And don't count your chickens just yet, lads. We've had 2 injury time goals. Let's make it a hat-trick. Wellingborough going for the win now. Zito shepherding the ball towards the touchline. And it's over the line. Coming to the end of the 5th minute of added time. This commentating these 2 things, a sit-down and a pint after this. Alexander, headed back where he came on by Stainfield. Zito nods it across. Fasani rolls past Hayward. Carey battling with every will of his might, but can't come away with the ball. Curtis. Fasani intercepts. Roll through for Wakefield. Back to Fasani in the Sphinx half. Dancing feet, keeping it away from Will Jones. Burke. Deflected towards O'Connor. That should surely bring the game to a halt. Under hits towards Licorice. Licorice just able to shield it into touch. A short try to get on the end of that one. Throw by Licorice. Patrick Zito. It's another tangle with Richard Moore. And it's another penalty. Patrick Zito has given away 2 injury time penalties. You have to feel for him. The Sphinx players absolutely distraught. Yellow card for Jordan Hayward for the reactions. The very right-hand corner of the penalty area. Sphinx will complain, but from first viewings, I think the referees got that call right. For the last 90 minutes, this game was nothing special. Tick into injury time. It's like nothing I've ever seen. And Wellingborough Town, who equalised from the penalty spot in the 94th minute, now have the chance in the 97th minute to convert a second penalty and take all 3 points. In fact, no, it's been turned around. Wait a minute. And it's headed away by Zito. In fact, the penalty's been overturned. The decision's actually been overturned, and Coventry Sphinx have got themselves a reprieve. It was a corner in the end. Dramatic scenes here at the Duncan Duck Ground. It's going to be another corner for Wellingborough. We all thought it would be given as a penalty to Wellingborough. It's eventually been turned down. Towards that far post and headed over, and that should be it. And it is. What a game. What an ending. Sphinx thought they'd won it in injury time through Idris Fasani before a 94th minute penalty from Will Jones. We all thought that Wellingborough had the chance to convert another penalty as a Doughboys man was tricked in the area. Eventually it was overturned and given as a corner kick. Coventry Sphinx escaped with a point. But this, this is going to live long in the memory. Final score at the Dog and Dock Ground of an amazing afternoon. The pitching in Northern Premier League Midlands, Wellingborough Town 2, Coventry Sphinx 2. Well, thanks for joining us, folks. We'll see you again on Saturday. I'm off for a cheeky half. I'm going to need it after that. Thanks for joining us. Highlights online later. Thanks for joining us, guys.